You want to know what's really wrong with the black community? Is that the woman is out of her purpose and she's not a helpmeet no more. Yep. She's the enemy. She's more of an enemy than the white man ever has. She's more of an enemy than anybody in history has ever been to the black community, because she's the very person that comes in with deceit and looks to use you and then disperse of you when she's done with you. And then she'll move on when it's all said and done, and then say, well, what about the kids? Fuck them kids and fuck that woman too. Throw that with the bathwater. Throw the baby out with the bathwater. Start the over. Get a whole new group of women, and then fix the community that way.
I do want to stress this. There's nothing you can do outside of killing the black women we have right now that will make any significant change in our society. Once we see the root of evil, which is the black woman.
Black men these days are going too far. What is it with them these days that they hate black women so much that you want to unalive black women and start all over again? Like, let's start the new. Like, do you even know what you're saying? You want to clear the generation of black women that are around now, then start afresh just because you hate them. And the word that this man said, he said they are worse enemy than a white man. What is it? What is happening in black community? What is it with these black men that just hate black women? They just hate black women existing already. What is going on? Today's video, I saw this video on TikTok and I brought it here for you all to watch. Few people have stitches to share, and I would like to know your opinion down in the comment section. This video is already taken down, so the important parts are the ones that you already watched from in the beginning already. So I would like to know your thought down in the comment section while I share stitches for you all to watch.
You want to know what's really wrong with the black community? Is that the woman is out of her purpose and she's not a helpmeet no more. Yep. She's the enemy. She's more of an enemy than the white man ever has. She's more of an enemy than anybody in history has ever been to the black community.
To call black women the enemy, more so than white men, is such a disturbing statement to make and a belief to hold as a black man. The amount of harm that white men have caused to black people as a whole is insurmountable. And I hope that's understood. Insurmountable. They have fully dehumanized black people, extracted their identity, put black people at the bottom of the social hierarchy globally. And yet somehow, black women are the enemy. Somehow. Black men like him, who are creating these platforms where they just spew misogynoir, shouldn't be taken seriously, because they do it under the guise of like trying to create community and repairing broken bonds in the black community. But the reality is that you cannot connect or bond with someone that you hate, and these black men hate black women.
You want to know what's really wrong with the black community? Is that the woman is out of her purpose and she's not a helpmeet no more. Yep. She's the enemy. She's more of an enemy than the white man ever has. She's more of an enemy than anybody in history has ever been to the black community, because she's the very person that comes in with deceit and looks to use you and then disperse of you when she's done with you. And then she'll move on when it's all said and done, and then say, well, what about the kids? Fuck them kids and fuck that woman too. Throw that with the bathwater. Throw the baby out with the bathwater. Start the fuck.
Bear with me for a moment, because this might take longer than my usual offerings. Two different men, but the same message. One with a clear audience we can see nodding in agreement subconsciously, and only one person, which was a black woman, their body language reads that she was extremely uncomfortable. The rest of the panel, though, their body language is either compliant or complicit. Listen, we've reached a dangerous fever pitch in our history as black people. Everyone now decided to run from being black simply because we think if we disassociate ourselves from our blackness, we will be accepted. Somehow we actually believe that the sole reason why it's taken over 460 years for America to accept us into the fold is because black women exist. So if we eliminate the black woman, the only being on earth that can replicate black men, somehow we'll be better off. And I'm not going to extend grace here. If you're looking for that, get someone else to do it. We know without the black woman, we wouldn't be here. We know, had the black woman checked out and divested while black men went to war, we wouldn't be here. We know, had black women not accepted accountability for raising 70% of black children, we wouldn't be here. We know, had black women got their passports during the crack epidemic to find more traditional husbands abroad who weren't selling drugs to their community, we wouldn't be here. It is on their backs and their suffering and empathy for us is why we still exist today. We all know this. So I'm not going to stroke anyone's ignorance by saying maybe you didn't know. Fuck your feelings. Go whine on someone else's post. You see, because your mama was there when your daddy wasn't. And maybe she wasn't the best mama. Maybe she was toxic and took out her frustrations on you because at 15, she wasn't ready to carry the child of your 35-year-old deadbeat daddy. But I'm here to tell you, had your daddy helped her, been accountable for his 50% of the responsibility of raising and protecting you, maybe, just maybe, your teenage mama would have been a different person. Now, we're sitting around like fucking idiots preaching our own extinction, and it's clear none of attention in science class. You can try to replace black women if you want. Remove them from the face of the earth, and the rest of the world will continue to turn their backs on black men as they've done for centuries. You actually think Anglo-Saxons are going to welcome the dilution of their ethnic gene pool with black men? Man, you goofy mothers actually think their women are going to want to f us after we wipe out our own women to reset the clock? Who's signing on for that? Listen, I don't know what's going on with my brothers, but after all black women and black children have had to endure at the hands of the oppressor and degenerate black men since the crack epidemic, they deserve to wear a little weave and lashes every now and again. Go ahead, get you a degree. Get a job. Say no to marriage. An institution, by the way, that black men claim every day is not in their best interest. But you're preaching to women to join in just so you'll have something else to hold over their heads. If you think OnlyFans is your problem, but you voted for the president that was married to a porn star, I'm not sure you got a dog in this fight, player. You're clearly out of your depth here. Calling for the deletion of the very thing that's kept us afloat on this raggedy-ass raft with Mr. Wilson, a.k.a. black men floating off into the distance is basically saying Castaway, or the Castaway, should have just hung himself from the cliff instead of fighting for his life simply because he thought the branch was going to support him once he made the commitment to take the easy way out. But you know something? That branch was rotten from the inside. And it never fucked you. And it's waiting for us to enact our own final solution so we can watch us fall to our extinction while the vultures, aka the oppressor, circles above waiting to eat our carcass. Tighten this shit up.
You want to know what's really wrong with the black community?
Punk ass black men like this one. And since TikTok wanted to try to silence me, now this one's gonna be 3 minutes because I won't be silenced. Punk ass, faux intellectual ass black men such as this one above me are the direct cause of the downfall of the black community. I won't be arguing that point. These men are on podcasts and webcasts talk about unaliving black women, blaming them for every issue in the community, blaming them for their fathers leaving, blaming every black woman for the shortcomings of their black mothers, blaming all black women because they can't seem to choose better, mad because black women are actively choosing better. Being mad at the black women who you asked to help stick beside you and help build you up, and then resenting them for doing just that. Getting online, throwing tantrums and going on tirades, disrespecting the very women in your group, and then blaming those very women because other groups of men don't respect you, your group of men. Blaming black women for single parent households, but then actively going out and making more single parent households. Mad because they tried to make black women the punchline, but then realized that they're the whole joke. Mad because black women from every walk of life, honey, from trust fund kid to welfare queen, okay, from crack whore to world scholar, are all requiring for y'all to do better. Every last one of them. And it's upsetting y'all. Okay, mad at black women because they bought into all the stereotypes about them from other men and from other groups, and not realizing that they've been tricked, and now those men from other groups are scooping up black girls by the dozens, and now they mad about it. Mad because black women are thriving as a collective while black men as a collective not so much. Mad because they have to work on being liked instead of being needed, but too lazy to work on being liked. And honestly and truthfully, we can be here all night. Cause it's so many. That wasn't even half of it. Mad because the type of women y'all really want don't want y'all. Mad because even when you get your preference, she's not top tier. She's clearance rate. Meanwhile, black girls could have they pick of any man. Let me repeat that again, honey, because that one is the one. Mad because they're getting the bottom of the barrel, and black women are getting top tier options, top tier choices. And last but not least, mad because they are bottom of the barrel while black women are top tier. I mean, child, that's just really it.
We know without the black woman, we wouldn't be here.
What's up, bro? This is a response to your video. Now, for some reason, I think you get confused with a person being fed up with what they see by the women in their community with wanting to not be black. I'm a black man, and there's no way around getting that, tossed away. People know, obviously, that I'm black. We're not even saying get rid of the black women in the community. What we're saying is the black women in the community that do not want correction, do not get protection. And there are millions of black women everywhere across the world. There's Afro-Latinas, there's Africans, Bahama, you name it. There's so many places for black men to get women from another place that have not been soured with American bad culture. Now, I'm going to say, have you not seen Glorilla? Have you not seen Megan Thee Stallion? Have you not seen City Girls? This is now the young majority that we have who would rather lay down with a young future, get piped, and have kids by criminals, drug dealers, pushers, and everything else you can think of, instead of an actual man who works at an actual job making honest money. We don't have to go that far to find women all across this world to have as wives, start over, and build the culture back up. Because even if you were to date, say, for instance, an Asian woman, get married and have a kid, guess what? That kid's black now. You started over. This man is becoming a losing battle. If you and other people want to fight this battle, then you go ahead. But my reasoning and my proposition is for men to go other places. And if you like black women, to get you an Afro-Latina, African, or wherever else you can find a fine, upstanding black woman who's not soured by American Western culture.
There's nothing you can do outside of killing the black.
So the part that disturbs me the most is not what the guy was saying in the video. It's the guy that I stitched. He was defending black women. And I suppose in a way defending himself as a black man to separate himself from that weirdo. But what's more disturbing to me than what that person was saying about black women is the guy's video that I stitched, his comment section. Because one of two things are happening. Either the algorithm is very aggressive and only put his video in front of women, or the vast majority of men don't care. They're unbothered by that man's rhetoric about offing black women as a solution to whatever the world's problems are. The man's video that I stitched, the comment section, I may have counted 3 men. I really only recall 2, and only one of those 2 were actually defending black men. The other one was the not all argument. Even if the algorithm is aggressive and putting it in front of women, that means the algorithm knows that the average man doesn't care. So the algorithm is not going to put it on their timeline. Either way, that's the detail. That's what I got out of it. As a darker energy person, sometimes most of the time, I see the glass half empty. I more so see the negatives. It's part of a defense mechanism. It's part of a protection aspect. That's what I see. I see the larger issue because we all know who stand buyers really are. So to me, it's just easier to assume if you really want to be aggressive about protecting yourself, just assume pretty much every man is a stand buyer at best. In my book, stand buyers are just as bad as the culprits, because the fact is a lot of men would rather protect their ego and their image than actually protect the people who have the potential to be harmed. So
if black men are angry with black women just because they're striving, they start making their decision by not thinking about them, most black women decide to be child-free, decide to stay out of marriage, decide to work and earn good living. In fact, they are happy, and they show it that they are happier without black man or black men. Is that what's making black men to be really angry and totally feel, I don't know. If you want to unalive black women, how do we create black men? How do we create black men? How were you created if you hate the person that created you? What's going on in black community? I just need to know, because I'm tired of seeing videos of men saying things about women that is really sad. You all have sisters, you have mother. Are you going to unalive your mom and your sister? Or your daughter just because of what? What is going on in black community? We need to come together, because how would somebody say a black woman is the worst enemy than a white man? It doesn't sit well to me. I want to know what you all think that in comment section, or is it just me? One of the stage, the man was like, and we can still produce black people when a black man marries or have a child with an Asian woman, they will have a black child. Really? Will you have a black child? So if you want to live all your black women now just because you want to start afresh, how do you start afresh? Who is going to give birth to the women that will give birth to men and all of that? How will other communities see you as a black man that you want to live your women just to stand out? How does that make sense? How does that sound well as a person or as a sane person? This video is really somehow for me, but then I just still have to bring it up here so that we can have conversations down in the comment section. I'd love to know what you all think about this video down in the comment section. My name is Maria David, and thank you all so much for sticking around to this point. Thank you for watching my video to this point. I hope you enjoyed this one, and don't forget to like and share and comment and all of that good stuff. And I'll see you all in my next video. Bye.